Admiral Helena Blackwood stood at the observation deck of Titan Station, her steely gaze fixed on the massive construction bay below. The skeletal framework of humanity's most ambitious project stretched before her, the HMS Vindicator. Titanium alloys and quantum-reinforced hull plating gleamed under the harsh industrial lights, a testament to human determination and ingenuity. "The Council's diplomatic envoy has arrived, Admiral," announced Captain Marcus Torres, his dark features illuminated by the datapad he held. "They're demanding an immediate inspection of the facility." Blackwood's jaw tightened. After 15 years of serving as humanity's representatives in the Galactic Council, the other species still treated them like children playing with dangerous toys. "Let them come," she said, her voice carrying the weight of command. "Show them exactly what they expect to see." The truth about Project Aegis remained hidden beneath layers of carefully crafted deception. While the Council believed they were overseeing the construction of a peacekeeping vessel, Blackwood and her team were building humanity's first true warship. In the secure command center, Dr. Viktor Petrov, the project's lead scientist, manipulated holographic displays showing the Vindicator's true capabilities. "The quantum shield matrix is stable," he reported, his Russian accent thick with excitement. "The theoretical output exceeds anything currently deployed in known space." "And the weapon systems?" Blackwood asked, studying the complex schematics. "Revolutionary," Petrov said with pride. "The plasma lance array alone could disable a dreadnought without violating any Council weapons treaties, technically." Their discussion was interrupted by Lieutenant Diane Wu, intelligence officer and the youngest member of the command staff. "Admiral, you need to see this," she said, transmitting data to the main display. The holographic projection revealed intercepted communications from the Centaurian Empire, encrypted transmissions that painted a disturbing picture. Fleet movements, resource stockpiles, and military exercises all pointing to one conclusion: invasion preparations. "They're not even trying to hide it anymore," Torres observed grimly. "The Centaurians think we're too weak to stop them." Blackwood studied the data, her mind racing through scenarios. The Centaurian Empire had been pushing boundaries for years, testing humanity's resolve with minor incursions and economic pressure. Now they were ready for something bigger. "How long until the Vindicator is combat-ready?" she asked Petrov. 3 months for basic systems, 5 for full capability." "We may not have that long," Wu interjected, highlighting additional data. "These energy signatures match colony assault configurations. They're preparing for planetary bombardment." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. The Galactic Council's precious treaties and regulations hadn't stopped the Centaurians from building an invasion fleet. Justice had failed. Now it was time for power to answer. "Admiral," Torres said quietly, "if we reveal the Vindicator's true capabilities, we'll be sanctioned by the Council. Everything we've built will mean nothing if our colonies fall," Blackwood finished. She straightened her uniform and made the decision that would change humanity's future. "Accelerate the timeline. I want weapons and shields operational in 2 months. We'll worry about Council regulations after we've saved our people." In the weeks that followed, Titan Station became a hive of furious activity. Engineering teams worked around the clock, pushing the boundaries of human technology. The Vindicator's true nature emerged as stealth systems, and weapon arrays were installed under the cover of diplomatic doublespeak and carefully staged inspections. Admiral Blackwood spent countless hours in strategy sessions, preparing for the inevitable confrontation. The Centaurians had overwhelming numbers, but the Vindicator represented a leap forward in military technology. It would have to be enough. "They're calling it a peacekeeping vessel," Wu reported during one late-night briefing, sharing intelligence from Council sources. "Our allies are nervous, but they're accepting the official story." "And our enemies?" Torres asked. "They're laughing. The Centaurians think we're building an oversized patrol boat." Blackwood allowed herself a small smile. "Let them laugh. Underestimation is a weapon we can use." As the Vindicator neared completion, tension throughout human space reached a breaking point. Colonial defense forces reported increased Centaurian activity along the border regions. Civilian ships disappeared without trace. The Council, bound by its own bureaucracy, could offer nothing but strongly worded condemnations. Standing once again at the observation deck, Blackwood watched as the final sections of hull plating were secured. The Vindicator no longer looked like a skeleton but a predator, sleek and dangerous despite its official designation as a peacekeeping vessel. "The Council has called an emergency session," Torres reported, joining her at the window. "They're demanding we halt construction pending a full investigation." "Too late," Blackwood replied, her reflection grim in the reinforced glass. "Long-range sensors detected Centaurian assault carriers entering the Proxima system an hour ago. The invasion has begun." She turned to face her trusted captain, seeing the same determination in his eyes that she felt in her heart. "Notify all personnel. The Vindicator launches in 12 hours. Ready or not, humanity's going to show the galaxy exactly what we're capable of." As emergency klaxons began to sound throughout the station, Blackwood offered a silent prayer, not for peace, but for the strength to do what needed to be done. The time for diplomacy had passed. Now was the time for action, and humanity's supreme warship would lead the way. Chief Engineer Raj Patel's hands flew across the quantum drive controls as the HMS Vindicator prepared for its first combat jump. The ship had barely finished its emergency launch sequence when the Centaurian assault fleet appeared at the edge of the Proxima system. "Drive stability at 93%, he reported through the ship-wide comm. "Not ideal, but she'll hold." In the background, his engineering team worked frantically to optimize systems that should have had weeks more testing. On the bridge, Admiral Blackwood stood with perfect composure despite the chaos of an untested ship launching into battle. "Status of the Proxima colonies." Lieutenant Wu's voice was tight with tension. "New Copenhagen reports 3 Centaurian carriers in orbit. They're launching assault craft. Planetary shields are holding, but they're taking heavy fire." "Time to intercept?" Blackwood asked. 8 minutes at maximum drive output," Patel responded, his eyes fixed on the fluctuating power readings. The quantum drive was revolutionary, but rushing its final calibration meant increased risk with every second they pushed it. Captain Torres coordinated with weapon control teams, preparing the ship's untested armaments. Plasma lance arrays charging, shield matrix stable but untested. Should we notify the Council? "The Council had their chance," Blackwood replied. "This is humanity's response." The Vindicator emerged from quantum space, directly behind the Centaurian fleet. The massive warship's arrival caused immediate confusion among the enemy vessels, their formations breaking as they registered a ship type they'd never encountered. "They're scanning us," Wu reported. "Getting a lot of comm chatter. They're trying to figure out what we are." "Let's show them," Blackwood commanded. "Tactical target the nearest carrier, full plasma lance spread." The weapon systems hummed to life, drawing power from the quantum core. Brilliant beams of concentrated plasma lanced out from the Vindicator's arrays, cutting through the Centaurian carrier's shields like they didn't exist. The enemy vessel's hull cracked open, secondary explosions rippling along its length. "Direct hit," Torres announced. "Enemy carrier disabled, their shields. They had no defense against our weapons." The remaining Centaurian ships reacted quickly, bringing their own weapons to bear. Energy torpedoes and graviton beams slammed against the Vindicator's quantum shields. In engineering, Patel fought to maintain power distribution as the ship took its first real combat damage. Shields holding at 80%. The Matrix is performing beyond specifications. But the Centaurians weren't the most feared military force in known space for nothing. They adapted quickly, coordinating their attacks to probe for weaknesses. A concentrated barrage from their remaining carriers sent power fluctuations cascading through the Vindicator's systems. "Power surge in the main quantum matrix," Patel shouted as warning lights flashed across his console. "The calibration sequence wasn't completed. We're seeing feedback in the weapon systems." Blackwood's voice remained steady. "Options, Chief." Patel's mind raced through possibilities. The quantum drive technology was his life's work, and he knew its capabilities better than anyone. I can reroute power through the secondary containment grid. It's not designed for this, but... Do it, Blackwood ordered. Patel's fingers danced across the controls, implementing modifications that would have given the safety board heart attacks. He bypassed regulators, rewrote power distribution algorithms on the fly, and prayed the theoretical physics would hold up in practice. The ship shuddered as another Centaurian barrage hit home. "Shields at 60%, Torres reported. "We need those weapons back online." "Almost there," Patel muttered, making final adjustments. "Quantum matrix stabilizing, weapon systems coming back online. Now." The Vindicator roared back to life, its advanced weapons finding their marks with deadly precision. 2 more Centaurian ships fell to the plasma lances before the others began an organized retreat. "They're pulling back," Wu announced. "Multiple quantum signatures detected. They're running." The bridge crew cheered, but Blackwood remained focused. "Damage report." "Hull integrity at 92%, Torres reported. "Minor systems damage on decks 4 through 7. Chief Patel's modifications saved our primary weapons, but we'll need repairs before we can safely use them again." In engineering, Patel finally allowed himself to breathe. The quantum drive hummed steadily, his emergency modifications holding despite theoretical models that said they shouldn't. Human ingenuity had proven itself against alien technology once again. "The colonies are reporting in," Wu said. "Minimal civilian casualties, the planetary shields held." Blackwood nodded, satisfaction visible in her otherwise stern expression. "Send word to Earth Command. The Vindicator performed beyond expectations, and get me a secure channel to the Galactic Council." "The Council," Torres asked. "They'll sanction us for this." "Let them try," Blackwood replied. "The Centaurians just learned that humanity is no longer the weak link in galactic politics. It's time the Council learned the same lesson." As the Vindicator established orbit around New Copenhagen, repair crews already working to implement Patel's emergency modifications as permanent features, the ship's crew knew they had just changed the course of human history. Their vessel had proven itself not just a match for Centaurian technology, but superior to it. In his engineering bay, Patel ran diagnostics on the quantum drive, already seeing ways to improve on his emergency modifications. The Vindicator wasn't just a warship, it was humanity's declaration of independence from alien dominance, and they were just getting started. The crystalline spires of the Lysian capital gleamed under twin suns as Admiral Blackwood's shuttle descended through the atmosphere. After the Vindicator's decisive victory at New Copenhagen, the political landscape had shifted dramatically. Previously neutral species were suddenly very interested in human technology and partnership. "The Lysian High Council is ready to receive you," Lieutenant Wu reported, studying diplomatic protocols on her datapad. "They're particularly interested in our quantum shield technology." "Which we're not sharing," Captain Torres reminded from the pilot's seat. The Vindicator hung in high orbit, its presence both a gesture of respect and a reminder of human military capability. Blackwood adjusted her formal uniform. "We're not sharing specifics, but we are offering protection. The Lysians have something we need just as much as they need us." The Lysian High Council chamber was a marvel of organic architecture, with walls that seemed to breathe and shimmer. High Counselor Vesha, her translucent skin refracting light in complex patterns, greeted the human delegation with formal grace. "Admiral Blackwood," Vesha's harmonic voice resonated through the chamber. "Your victory against the Centaurian fleet has caused much discussion among our people. We find ourselves reconsidering our position of neutrality." "The Centaurians won't stop at human colonies," Blackwood replied. "Their expansion threatens all independent worlds, but together we can change the balance of power." Back on the Vindicator, Chief Engineer Patel was studying Lysian energy technology with barely contained excitement. "Their crystalline power matrices are incredible," he reported over secure comm. "If we could adapt this to our quantum systems." His analysis was interrupted by urgent alerts. Lieutenant Wu's voice cut through the ship's communications. Multiple Centaurian signatures detected. They're targeting the Lysian orbital platforms. Blackwood's meeting with the High Council was immediately disrupted. On the massive viewing screens, Centaurian warships emerged from quantum space, their weapons already charging. This is a violation of neutral space. Vesha's harmonics shifted to tones of alarm. The Council will debate while your world burns, Blackwood cut in. But we can act now. Let us prove our commitment to this alliance. As Vesha hesitated, the first Centaurian strikes hit Lysian orbital defenses. The crystalline platforms, beautiful but underarmed, began to shatter. Admiral, Tor's voice came through her comm, we're ready to engage. But without Lysian authorization, this could be considered an act of war. Blackwood met Vesha's iridescent eyes. Your people are under attack, let us help. The High Counselor's skin patterns shifted rapidly before settling into a decisive configuration. Defend our world, Admiral. The Lysian people will remember this day. Vindicator, you are cleared to engage, Blackwood commanded. Show them why humanity makes a better friend than enemy. The battle that followed would be studied in military academies across the galaxy. The Vindicator, now incorporating elements of Lysian crystal technology thanks to Patel's quick modifications, demonstrated combat capabilities that left both allies and enemies in awe. Plasma lances, enhanced by crystalline focusing arrays, cut through Centaurian shields with even greater efficiency. The quantum shield matrix, already formidable, became nearly impenetrable with Lysian energy integration. Their fleet is in disarray, Tors reported with satisfaction. They never expected to face both human and Lysian technology working in concert. But victory came with a price. As the Centaurian ships retreated in defeat, urgent messages arrived from Earth. The Political Oversight Committee was demanding explanations for what they termed unauthorized technological exchanges with the Lysians. They're afraid, Wu observed, reading through the diplomatic traffic. Not of the Centaurians, but of how quickly we're advancing. Blackwood stood on the Vindicator's bridge, watching Lysian repair crews working alongside human engineers to rebuild their orbital platforms. They should be more afraid of standing still. The galaxy is changing, and humanity must change with it. The alliance with the Lysians was formalized within days. Their crystalline technology combined with human innovation created defenses that even the Centaurian Empire had to respect. But more importantly, it represented a new path forward, one where humanity led through cooperation as well as strength. The Oversight Committee is sending representatives, Tors informed Blackwood as they prepared to return to Earth. They're talking about restrictions, regulations, possibly even dismantling some of our advanced systems. Let them come, Blackwood replied, watching Patel work with Lysian engineers, their shared excitement for discovery transcending species barriers. They can see for themselves what we've built here, not just weapons and shields, but trust, understanding, real power. The Vindicator's crew had learned valuable lessons. Technology alone wasn't enough to secure humanity's future. They needed allies who shared their vision of a galaxy where strength supported justice rather than suppressed it. As they prepared to depart Lysian space, High Counselor Vesha presented Admiral Blackwood with a crystalline shard that pulsed with inner light. A symbol of our partnership, she explained, and a reminder that the brightest futures are built together. Blackwood accepted the gift, understanding its deeper meaning. The tide was turning, not just in the war with the Centaurians, but in humanity's place among the stars. They had proven themselves with power, but would secure their future through wisdom. Set course for Earth, she ordered. It's time to show our own people what humanity is truly capable of. The Vindicator jumped to quantum space, leaving behind a changed political landscape. The galaxy was beginning to understand that humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology or their warships, but their ability to forge bonds that transcended old rivalries and fears. The true test would come soon enough. Intelligence suggested the Centaurians were gathering their full fleet for a decisive strike. But now, humanity wouldn't face them alone. Emergency alarms blared through Earth's orbital defense network as the largest Centaurian fleet ever assembled dropped out of quantum space. Admiral Blackwood stood on the Vindicator's bridge, watching as hundreds of enemy warships filled the tactical display. "They're not even trying to hide behind treaties anymore," Captain Torres observed grimly. "This is a full invasion force." Lieutenant Wu's hands flew across her intelligence console. Multiple signatures matching their new dreadnought class. They've been building these in secret for years. In engineering, Chief Patel worked with his Lysian counterparts, pushing their hybrid systems to new limits. "The crystalline matrix is stable. Whatever they throw at us, our shields will hold." The Galactic Council's emergency session was being broadcast across all channels. Representatives from dozens of species argued, while the Centaurian ambassador spoke with calculated precision. "The human threat must be contained," he declared. "Their unauthorized weapons development and illegal alien technology integration cannot be tolerated. The Empire acts with the Council's full authority." "Incoming transmission from Council headquarters," Wu reported. "Admiral, you need to see this." The message contained encrypted data streams revealing years of bribes, threats, and manipulation. The Centaurian Empire had compromised the Council from within, using their influence to restrict other species' military development while building their own war machine. "Send copies to every member world," Blackwood ordered. "The Council's corruption ends today." The first wave of Centaurian ships engaged Earth's defense grid. Traditional shields buckled under their advanced weapons, but the Vindicator and its newly commissioned sister ships stood firm, their hybrid human-Lysian technology proving superior. "Multiple colony distress calls," Torres reported. "They're hitting everything at once. New Copenhagen, Proxima, the Lysian homeworld." "They're desperate," Blackwood realized. "They know we've exposed their corruption. This isn't an invasion, it's an attempt to destroy everything before the truth spreads." The Vindicator's quantum drive hummed to life as Patel implemented yet another innovative modification. "The Lysian crystals are enhancing our jump accuracy. We can respond to multiple attacks faster than they can launch them." What followed was a desperate race across human space. The Vindicator appeared at colony after colony, its advanced weapons turning the tide of battle each time. But the Centaurian numbers seemed endless. "Admiral," Wu called out during a brief respite between engagements, "the Lysian fleet reports successful defense of their homeworld, and we're receiving transmissions from other Council worlds. They're mobilizing against the Centaurians." The tactical display updated, showing new fleet movements. Species that had stayed neutral were finally choosing sides. The Centaurian Empire's corruption had been exposed, and their former victims wanted revenge. But victory would come at a terrible price. The Centaurians, realizing their plan had failed, turned to savage desperation. Their dreadnoughts targeted civilian populations, trying to force a surrender through sheer brutality. "New attack pattern detected," Torres warned. "They're concentrating fire on population centers. Planetary shields are failing on multiple worlds." Blackwood's voice carried the weight of command and conviction. "Implement Protocol Omega. Transmit the codes to all Allied vessels." Protocol Omega was humanity's most closely guarded secret, a fundamental breakthrough in quantum physics that could disable any ship's drive systems within range. They had hoped to never need it. "Admiral," Patel cautioned, "using this technology, there's no going back. Every species will know what we're capable of." "They already fear us," Blackwood replied. "Now they'll learn to respect us." The Vindicator's quantum core pulsed with blinding energy as Protocol Omega activated. Throughout the battle zone, Centaurian ships suddenly lost power, their quantum drives destabilized by forces they couldn't understand. "Multiple enemy ships disabled," Wu reported, her voice tight with controlled excitement. "Their entire fleet, they're dead in space." The remaining Centaurian vessels, those outside Protocol Omega's range, began desperate retreats. But they found their escape routes blocked by newly arrived Allied fleets, as species after species declared their opposition to the Empire's aggression. On the Council broadcast channels, representatives who had once feared speaking out against the Centaurians now demanded justice. The corruption that had protected the Empire's military buildup was exposed, and their carefully constructed political power crumbled. "Message from Earth Command," Wu announced. "All colonies report successful defense. Civilian casualties were—" She paused, fighting emotion, "minimal. We saved them, Admiral. We saved everyone." Blackwood nodded slowly, watching the tactical display as Allied ships began rounding up the disabled Centaurian fleet. "Send word to all commands. The immediate threat is contained, but our work isn't finished." "The Council will want explanations," Torres noted, "about Protocol Omega, about our other capabilities." "They'll get them," Blackwood replied. "But on our terms. Humanity won't hide its strength any longer. We'll use it openly to protect, to defend, and to ensure this never happens again." As the Vindicator moved to secure Earth's orbital space, its crew knew they had witnessed a turning point in galactic history. The old order, built on secret deals and corrupt treaties, had been shattered. What would replace it remained to be seen. "Admiral," Patel called from engineering, "the Lysian crystals are showing some interesting reactions to Protocol Omega. I think we've only scratched the surface of what's possible." Blackwood allowed herself a small smile. Even in victory, humanity's drive to innovate, to improve, remained strong. "One crisis at a time, Chief. We still have an empire to dismantle." The end of the battle marked the beginning of a new era. Humanity had proven itself not just technologically superior, but morally necessary. The galaxy needed their strength, their innovation, and most importantly, their determination to fight corruption wherever they found it. The treaties were broken, but something stronger would take their place. Something built on truth, justice, and the undeniable fact that humanity was now a force that could no longer be ignored or constrained. The Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council had never seen such an assembly. Representatives from every spacefaring species packed the massive amphitheater, their attention fixed on the human delegation. Admiral Blackwood stood at the central podium, the weight of history heavy on her shoulders. "The Centaurian Empire's last stronghold has fallen," she announced, her voice carrying to every corner of the chamber. "Their leadership is in custody, their fleet neutralized. Now we must decide what comes next." In orbit above, the Vindicator led a combined fleet of human and Allied vessels. Chief Patel's engineering teams worked alongside Lysian technicians, sharing their revolutionary advances with trusted partners. The quantum crystal hybrid technology had proven to be just the beginning of what different species could achieve together. "The old council is dissolved," declared High Counselor Vesha, her crystalline form radiating authority. "Its corruption allowed the Centaurian Empire to nearly destroy everything we built. We require a new framework for galactic cooperation." Captain Torres, standing beside Blackwood, activated a holographic display showing the extent of Centaurian infiltration. For decades, they manipulated council policies to restrict technological development while building their own war machine. That ends today. Lieutenant Wu stepped forward, presenting evidence compiled from captured Centaurian databases. "We've identified every official who accepted bribes, every corporation that helped hide military buildups, every treaty deliberately designed to weaken potential opposition." The chamber erupted in overlapping translations as species came to terms with the depth of corruption they had lived under. Some called for immediate punishment of all involved parties. Others demanded reparations for years of enforced technological stagnation. Blackwood raised her hand for silence. "Humanity understands the desire for revenge. We felt it ourselves when our colonies were attacked, but we're here to build something better than the system that failed us." From his position in engineering, Patel monitored the unprecedented gathering of ships in orbit. Vessels representing dozens of species, many of whom had been bitter rivals weeks ago, now flew in formation with human ships. The Vindicator's quantum core hummed in harmony with Lysian crystals, a symbol of what cooperation could achieve. We propose a new galactic alliance, Blackwood continued, not built on restrictions and fear, but on shared progress and mutual defense. No more treaties designed to keep some species weak while others grow strong. No more technological hoarding. And who would lead this alliance? Came a challenge from the Arcturian delegation. Humanity with its superior weapons. No one species will lead, Torres responded, but we offer Protocol Omega as proof of our commitment. The chamber fell silent. Protocol Omega, the quantum technology that had disabled the Centaurian fleet, represented military power beyond anything previously known. That humanity would share it sent a powerful message. The technical specifications and underlying physics will be made available to all Alliance members, Patel announced through the comm. Along with our advances in shield technology, quantum drives, and hybrid systems. In return, we ask for the same openness from others. Trust through transparency, Wu added. Strength through cooperation. High Counselor Vesh's crystalline form pulsed with approval. The Lysian Collective supports this proposal. Our technology is also offered freely to Alliance members. Let this be the beginning of true cooperation. One by one, species that had fought alongside humanity against the Centaurians pledged their support. Even former rivals saw the benefits of the new system over the corrupt old order. There will be challenges, Blackwood acknowledged. Centuries of distrust and competition won't disappear overnight, but we've seen what we can achieve together. The Centaurian threat forced us to innovate, to trust, to fight alongside those we once feared. The Vindicator's crew watched from orbit as the new alliance took shape. Humanity's supreme warship, built in secret to defend against alien aggression, had become a symbol of unity. Its hybrid technology represented the future different species working together, combining their strengths. The dawn of a new era, Torres mused, standing on the observation deck with Blackwood after the historic session. The dawn of something better, she corrected. Power isn't just about weapons and shields. It's about having the strength to choose cooperation over conflict, progress over stagnation. In engineering, Patel was already working with a diverse team of alien scientists, exploring new possibilities created by combining different technological approaches. Every species has unique insights, he reported excitedly. Together, we're advancing faster than any of us could alone. Lieutenant Wu's intelligence network, once focused on uncovering threats, now coordinated scientific and cultural exchange programs. Former enemies are sharing research, she noted. The Alliance is building trust faster than anyone expected. The Centaurian Empire's attempt to dominate the galaxy had failed, but it had sparked something unprecedented. Species that had hidden behind treaties and regulations now worked openly together. The fear and distrust that had allowed corruption to flourish was being replaced by a new spirit of cooperation. As the Vindicator prepared for its next mission, leading a joint expedition to explore uncharted space, Admiral Blackwood reflected on how far they had come. Humanity had built their supreme warship, believing they needed it to survive in a hostile galaxy. Instead, it had helped forge a future where such weapons might one day become obsolete. New sensor contact, Wu reported. Unknown configuration approaching Alliance space. First contact protocol, Torres asked. Blackwood smiled. No, Alliance protocol, let's show them what we can achieve together. The Vindicator moved to greet the unknown visitors, no longer just a human vessel, but a symbol of something greater. In rising to face the Centaurian threat, humanity had helped create something unprecedented. A galaxy where power served progress, and where different species stood together against any challenge. The dawn of power had arrived, not as conquest or domination, but as the strength to forge a better future for all.